UNO driver here in Phoenix, Arizona. How's everybody doing out there? Today is Sunday. That's right, today's Sunday, and it is 8:31 a.m. I want to talk about one of my passengers in particular. I pick up this passenger, and I think he's my third or fourth passenger. He gets in my car, and he starts telling me about this story about him. And he tells me that he was in a coma. And then he tells me the story. Now, he was in a coma not too long ago. It's been several months, but he starts telling me the story on what happened to him. So he wakes up in the morning, gets ready to go to work. He has stomach pains, but he thinks it's just gas. So he goes on with his, getting ready. Next, he says that he's at his front door and he collapses. Bam! Wakes up in the hospital. A couple months later. He was in a coma. He was in a coma for 16 weeks in a coma. And when he got out of the coma, he doesn't really remember anything. When he came out of the coma, he has his family friends talking to him, and he said he was responding. They said that he was responding, talking stuff, but he didn't come out of it until another week later is when his brain started recognizing things and seeing things and talking and knowing and remembering. So what had happened was that he said that he woke up, got pain, collapsed, went to the hospital. But, it's funny because he said that he called the paramedics. He called the ambulance when he started having that pain, but he doesn't remember. He don't remember calling the paramedic, the ambulance, to pick him up, take him to the doctor or the hospital. So he ends up at the hospital, wakes up 16 weeks later. About a week, maybe 17 weeks, he's fully recovered. Not fully, but he's pretty much, knowing what's going on. So the doctor tells him. And you know what happened to him? It's weird. Because I ask him, what happened? Why did you, what was wrong with your stomach? He tells me that the doctor tells him that it was due to stress. But more due to coffee. Drinking lots of coffee and stress. Burst his stomach, had acid go into it. All the acid, which is poison, went into his system in his stomach and got sick and collapsed. Passed out, went into a coma. Pretty crazy, huh? Pretty crazy. So he's telling me this story, and I'm just like, wow, that's crazy. He could talk about, what happened to him. I even asked him, when you were in a coma, did you experience anything? Like, the other side? He's like, nah. He's like, I don't believe in that crap. He said he was just sleeping. He was just asleep for 3 months, asleep. So it's crazy how things can happen to people, at any time. At any time. So he was he seemed pretty cool. He seemed like a pretty cool guy, but he just had all kinds of poison burst out of his intestines and went into his stomach and caused that poison to put him in a coma and collapse him. And, he was down for 16 weeks, 17 weeks, and he's here to talk about it. Anyhow, so I drop him off, right? He's getting out of my car, and he tells me he's going to get some coffee. Can you believe that? He's going to go get some coffee. I can't believe people, man. People are just crazy, huh? So, that's what had happened to him. He said he was in a coma for like 16, 17 weeks due to coffee and stress. But, everybody's different. Everybody's body's built different. Everybody, immune system and everything. Everybody's just different. So, not that drinking coffee is bad for you, which it probably is. I don't drink coffee. I'm not a coffee drinker or a soda drinker. I don't drink soda or coffee. But you know, anything can happen to anybody at any time. It's all depends on yourself and how you're built, your insides, your outsides, your life period. Wanted to bring that up and share that story with everybody out there, but it is pretty crazy. Guy was in coma for 16 weeks. Yeah, it was just crazy. Had a lot of interesting passengers today. I had this one, matter of fact, my last one, telling me a joke and stuff. He's heading out to Illinois. So I pick him up, right? Gets in my car. And I swipe it. Oh, wow. Okay, you're going to the airport. He's like, yeah. Ask him for his name. He tells me his name. And okay, we're going. And he's telling me he's going to Illinois. He's got some meeting out there. He's with this pet company or something like that. And he's got a meeting out there at Crystal Lake. So I tell him, is it Camp Crystal Lake? And he tells me, I don't know. He's like, I don't know. I got to look that up. But interesting. He's like, why are you telling me that? I'm like, well, remember Friday the 13th? Friday the 3rd, Camp Crystal Lake. He's like, oh, yeah, that's right. He's like, wow, I wonder if it is. I don't know where Camp Crystal Lake, even if it exists or anything. I mean, it was a Friday the 13th movie, Camp Crystal Lake, Jason, all that crap. So anyhow, had some really interesting passengers today. Really, really cool passengers. Knowing the valley as well. Had one that was talking about the Metro Center and how dumpy it is and how crappy it is and stuff like that. As a matter of fact, I think it was the same passenger that was going to Illinois. And I think he's the same one that grew up around Maryville. He's talking about Maryville and how bad it is there and everything. Oh, it's bad there. It was bad. So, yeah, he's talking about how they put baseball, a training camp baseball field right next to Maryville. That's crazy. But, you know, things happen. Things, you know, people just, probably because they got a cheap, really good deal on the land or something. I don't know. But had a really good, interesting day today with passengers. Really cool passengers today. Had some female passengers that were just making me laugh through the trips. This is one of the reasons why I like this job. I love it because my passengers, they amuse me every single day. Have some drunk ones this morning too as well. But other than that, it was pretty good in the valley today. And well, my passengers making me laugh and telling me jokes and stories and stuff like that. I'd like to share more with you, but it is about that time. That's right. It is about that time. It's Sunday. Got a lot of things to do on Sunday, so you know what's next. Oh, yeah. That's right. Peace out.